What is your question for we the people today, Scout Francesca?
How do I tell my parents I'm struggling without them panicking?
Good one.
What is your question for us today?
How do I talk to my kids about losing a pet?
All right, let's go.
Hello, Scout Francesca. How be ye?
Good, how are you?
Good, thank you.
Alrighty.
Your question today for us is, how do I tell my parents I'm struggling without them panicking?
Yeah. I feel like this is a hard one because no matter what advice you get from anybody, it'll still feel like this impossible thing. But I feel like it can be kind of like, I feel like you can kind of be pushed towards doing it. I feel like there's ways to feel more comfortable with doing it.
That's a really good point, yeah.
So because this is such a,
too.
This is such a sensitive topic. So I feel like either way, no, even if you're getting information from the top ranked therapist in the world, it'll still feel like a big obstacle to surpass because of how much of an obstacle it is.
Yeah, you make a good point. I think parents, we sometimes tend to forget that kids, to us the answer seems simple, but to the kid it's like it's a huge mountain to climb.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so we'll give our great sage advice out, this is what you got to do, and the kid's like, buddy,
yeah,
it's not that easy, man.
I think especially being a kid, I think sometimes you feel like your parents never went through it or your parents never felt that way, which, maybe they didn't feel that exact feeling or they didn't go through that exact thing. But I think that to a certain extent, everybody has similar things to overcome and similar obstacles in life. I feel like.
For sure.
Yeah, I mean, everybody struggles.
Everybody struggles, no doubt. And I guess it comes to, in large part, it comes down to what's the struggle. Yeah. Too, right? The struggle, what specifically are you asking about?
Yeah, but to go back to the exact question, how should kids go about telling their parents they're struggling?
Yeah. Well, what do you think? Like,
I think the best way to do it is to just do it. Just say it.
Rip the Band-Aid off.
Yeah, like don't step over it or dumb it down or like make it seem smaller than it is. Tell them how you genuinely feel. Because I think that to a certain extent, if you make it smaller than the situation actually is, I think it just makes it worse for you in the long run because then it'll just get worse and worse and then you'll have to talk about it even more. So I think that the faster and the more direct you get it across, the better.
So how do you approach it then? How do you?
By just finding a time when your parent or parents aren't busy.
Right.
And
that's smart.
Just sitting down with them and telling them, preparing them beforehand. Like, this isn't like I'm not about to tell you that my homework was turned in late. Like, this is an actual conversation.
Yeah, this is something big.
Yeah. Like make sure they know like what they're going into. I think if they get caught off guard, it might not be as.
Yeah, because it's something you're worried, like the question is without them panicking, so you're worried that they might freak out.
Tell them beforehand, please don't freak out.
Yeah. Which unfortunately,
just listen.
For a lot of people, that just right away sets them on the path to freaking out, doesn't it? As soon as you tell somebody, don't freak out, maybe that's not the best move to start like that.
No, but just tell them, please listen before you react, or like, give me a chance to speak before you say anything.
For me, I know that I'm happy to hear, like, I like talking to you about anything anyhow, no matter what it is. But if it's something difficult, I prefer it if somebody starts just with, I want to talk about something. Yeah. And then right away you're like, well, all right. Mm-hmm. What do you want to talk about? Like just leading in, essentially what you're saying, just being honest about it and open right away. Right. Because parents panic because they love their kids, right? And so as soon as you think your kid's struggling, you right away you go into not panic mode. I mean, it would be different for different people, but you right away go into a position of like, oh no, what can I do, or how can I help? And a lot of times there's not much you can do, man. The best thing you can do is listen.
Yeah, a lot of the times the kid doesn't want you to do anything.
Yeah, just wants somebody to listen.
Yeah.
Not somebody.
Honestly,
wants you
the best
to listen.
advice I can give to a parent too is to just let them struggle for a second. Like, just let them feel how they feel. Like, don't immediately try and fix anything, because the reality is that they do feel that way, and they might feel that way for a little while.
Yeah.
Let them.
Yeah.
Let them understand how that feels.
That's
like,
really
let
good
them,
advice.
Don't try and make it better immediately, because you can't. And it'll just put more pressure on the kid to feel like they have to be better.
Yeah.
Like, make sure your kid feels like they can feel bad. And they're allowed to feel bad, because they are. They're like 14, 15.
Yeah.
They're just little kids.
Yeah. I mean, this goes for adults even. It's a good thing for a kid to learn as they get older, isn't it? Mm-hmm. Like, just let the person feel how they feel. They're coming to you because they trust you, because they feel safe enough around you to tell you.
Yeah.
And if you want to engender that sort of going forward too, the best thing you can do is just listen. It's hard, man. That's the hardest thing for parents. Or one of the hardest thing for parents is to overcome the feeling of needing to take away whatever pain the kid has, right? Like, you just want to, man. You just want to be like, oh, how can I fix this? And as you say, often you can't, and nobody's looking for you to fix it either.
Yeah, exactly. Usually if a kid's coming to you to tell you about how they're feeling, it's not because they want an immediate fix. Like, it's usually just because they want somebody to know that this is how they're feeling.
Yeah.
So that they're not, struggling in silence, or like to just make sure that somebody knows what's going on inside their head.
Do you feel like most kids, like, I'm trying to think, when I was a kid, I know that I was lucky. My mom was really good for that. And so there was, I talked to her about anything. So whenever I felt like I was struggling, I never felt like I had to struggle alone, because I always felt like, okay, I know she's there and she'll listen and she'll try, and if she can help, she'll try to help. But if not, she'll just be there to give me a hug if that's what I need. So I know that was huge. But I also know that, there's a lot of things that I faced alone too, that in retrospect, I probably wish I hadn't of.
Well, I think
maybe it's because I felt like, they'd panic, or it'd cause her more distress than I was willing to cause her.
Yeah, I think it's good to make sure that your kid knows that what they're going through isn't abnormal as well. Because like you said, like, I think that a kid feeling something they've never felt before might cause them to think that what they're going through isn't normal, which might then cause somebody else to panic.
Yeah.
Which is why they feel like if they tell somebody, they might panic.
Yeah, that it just exacerbates
because they've never felt that before. They don't know what it's, they don't know what it's like to feel that way, and so they think, well, maybe they don't know what it's like to feel this way. But the chances are they probably do. Oh,
for sure. It's critical that the parents don't panic, even if what they feel is panic. Like, you really can't let your kids see that, because that's the worst possible thing is to feed into the kids' exact fear. Yeah. I mean, they're coming to you to be safe. And if you start freaking out and panicking over whatever their circumstances, and I don't care what it is, you need to stay calm. You just need to. And it's good if that's why it's so huge to have a relationship with a kid where you can talk to them. Yeah, it's not easy, man. It's the same as with adults. It's not easy to have open relationships like that where you can talk about anything. Trust is such a huge thing involved, isn't it? It really is. I mean, I think you just have to make sure your kid trusts you enough to want to tell you, or enough for them to want to go to you. So which means that your kid has to be pretty sure that you won't freak out. I guess that's kind of what I'm bumbling my way towards, right? If your kid thinks you're going to spaz, get angry, sad, panic, then the kid's not going to come to you. No. And that's no good for anyone. Definitely not. So you just feel like you should just do it. Yeah, definitely. It'll do you better than pushing it down or making it seem not so big, is my point. So I guess that's the thing, eh? You have to try and present it to the parent in a way that doesn't set them off right at the start. Right.
Yeah.
And then
saying like, give me a chance to talk, like
Yeah.
listen to me before you say anything, kind of thing.
I really want to talk to you about this.
Yeah.
Like that's a thing that people don't do enough, is present something to somebody in a way that makes the other person open to it immediately. Like, and that's an easy way to do it, is just to say, hey, mom, or hey, dad, I really want to talk to you about something. Right away, then the parent is like, oh, she wants to talk to me. He wants to talk to me, you know?
Yeah.
So right away you have them halfway to listening. You haven't presented it as anything other than something that you really need them to do.
Mm-hmm.
And every parent wants their kid to be, you know, comfortable enough to ask them for help.
And it seems scary, but it's really not once you say it. Especially when you find out that other people feel that way too. Like, you're not alone in this feeling, I feel like.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's my advice.
It's pretty solid advice, Irish.
Thank you. Now you would like to answer, how do you talk to your kids about losing a pet? We have some experience with this.
Yes, we do.
We've lost our fair share of hamsters and fish. Fish eye.
Yeah, it's
Fishes.
it's huge, right? It's one of those huge things, and
sometimes I can't even think about losing Max.
Well, it's so
Top
tragic.
10 worst days of my life.
It's the first brush with death for every child.
Holy.
Almost the first. Like, honestly, I hope that it's the first brush with death, because it's at least it's baby steps towards it. But it's huge, man. It's tragic.
Yeah.
It's and talking to your kids about it is, I think it's critical.
Do you think that whoever redoes the garden of that house one day will find the remains of our 3 hamsters, not done yet, 3 fish, still not done, and 1 lizard?
Yeah. Well, there's some birds back there too.
Oh, yeah, true.
Yeah, there's quite a few creatures back there.
Holy.
That lizard was huge.
Yeah, apologies to whoever's doing that garden.
Yeah, I think most families have a pet cemetery in the backyard. I think that's pretty common.
Yeah.
Or I guess a lot of the fish get buried at sea into the toilet.
Now we buried our fish.
When your kid's small, like I think all you can do is be honest and try and use it as an opportunity to talk about grief and loss. It's even when kids are small, even when we were small with the hamster, you know, it's like, yeah, you guys, it's sad, it's hard, you know, but this is just how life is. Like it's a good time to, I mean, not to a 4-year-old, but it's a good time for most kids to start getting, wrapping their heads around the circle of life, because it's real. And I think it's a super healthy thing to be able to process death.
For sure. And I do think that if you're a parent and you want to get a pet for your child, but you don't want to get a dog, then the dog dies one day and that's their first experience with an animal death, that's not okay. That's evil. So
no, Irish, you can't. It's not evil. Apologies to everybody out there who went that route, man.
Yeah,
that's evil. It's not evil.
I recommend getting either a fish or a hamster, something that your kid can't get too attached to, but, would enjoy having around.
I think actually that's good advice. Start with a starter, a creature that
and even
is
then,
almost for sure going to die.
I remember I asked for a hamster for 1 whole year. I came back from gymnastics one day, and I told you that one of my partners had a hamster, and that Christmas I got a hamster.
Yeah. I mean, part of all of that was that the reason I waited longer was just the dying part too. A good example of that is a hamster of the whole doesn't live very long.
Right.
So that the kids, it's going to die. And the kids have been playing with it for a year, and it's just been giving them all kinds of joy, and it's a huge part of their daily existence, and all of a sudden, done. And that's going to be traumatic. So you want to wait until you know that the kid's prepared for that, or somewhat able to deal with that, process that, because it's coming. So I guess how do I talk to my kids about losing a pet? It starts by, I think, knowing the ages of your kids and where they are at in maturity.
Yeah.
Before you even think about getting a pet.
Yeah,
because the first thing you have to understand with a pet is that it's going to die, and you're going to have to explain it. I think that ceremony is huge too. Like how do you talk to the kid? Like a big part of it to me was saying, okay, well, we'll have a little ceremony, and we're going to bury him, and we would stand there over our little grave, and you guys would say things, or you'd make a little drawing. Like that's a good thing to do. make a little drawing that you can bury with the animal. I think that's really helpful. It makes it makes you feel like you're part of it and that you're, in a way, it's not final.
Or Madish and I would make you stand there with us while we said our final words. Mm-hmm. And we would make you say final words too.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you. I think it's good to involve your kids in it and make them feel like it's not this tragic thing. Like it's sweet. Like make it a good memory instead of a bad memory. Like, yeah, you lost an animal that day, but you also got to bury it with the people you love and the people that love that animal. Mm-hmm. So I think
you celebrate the animal's life.
Exactly.
Like it's basically a primer for as you get older and people die and you lose people. I mean, that's just the way it is. That's just life, isn't it?
Yeah.
And it's terrible, and it can be terrible and awful and traumatic. And I'd argue that the first time a kid loses a cherished, beloved pet is as powerful and as traumatic and as difficult as any other death in their life will ever be, almost.
Oh, I still have trouble thinking about the time that I held Max in that vet, and then he bit me when I held him because he was scared. Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's very powerful.
Max was our first hamster, by the way. So I'm sure you know why I'm so distraught about it.
But that's why it's important how you to have a plan.
Yeah.
Before you talk to your kid about it, and as I'm suggesting, to even have a plan before you get a pet, and understand that talk is coming.
Yeah.
And so you should have some kind of an approach, some kind of an idea of how you're going to handle it.
Definitely.
Because
plan ahead.
It's hugely influential in your kid's life.
Very.
Yeah,
losing Max was one of the biggest days of my life.
Well, and it depends on your attachment too, doesn't it?
Yeah, and Madish and I were very attached to Max because he was our first, not our first pet, but the first pet that we remember, really. And the first pet that was ours, like just his and I's. And
you guys interacted with him a lot.
Oh my God.
He was ripping around the house in that goofy ball. He
every night for like an hour.
Divots in the walls. Yeah. Yeah, because, I mean, when I was growing up, Anita always had hamsters and gerbils, and Nickel always had birds. So there was always creatures around the house, but none of them were really mine. My interest in them was completely peripheral. So their comings and goings didn't really impact me that much, right? I like any cold-blooded kid. You're just like, that's not my concern. Yeah. But then when we got a dog, that changed things entirely. Well, Cindy was, but I was older when Cindy died, I mean, when she just got old. Yeah. But yeah, that was incredibly traumatic. Incredibly traumatic. And actually, it's a good example of how powerful a pet is too. Like Cindy, that experience with her was as traumatic as any experience I've had in my life with death. And that happened when I was older, and it came after I had experience with humans dying, Mm-hmm. So, you don't want to undermine or disrespect the power of the bond that a kid has with a pet.
Especially that would be my pet.
What's that?
Especially our first pet.
Yeah, you don't really even know. It might not be the first one. It might be the third one is the one that really smashes the kid, right? That's kind of my point. Like it's how you talk to the kids about losing a pet is huge, because essentially what you're talking to the kids about is death. Mm-hmm. So you need to be prepared.
I do think it's smart to get a pet for your kid, because I think it's good that they experience that as well as human death. But I don't know. I think it's good to have it before, so that they kind of realize the experience and then they're a little more prepared. Yeah,
you could easily make a good argument for graduating your petitude. Start out with an ant farm, and some of them go down. Well, and maybe fish are good. You bury them at sea. The first couple go in the backyard, and then afterwards they're straight to the bowl.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a big fan of childhood pets, because I just think that they're a good experience for kids.
We've prayed and flushed.
We've done both, yeah.
We've stood by the bowl with our heads bowed.
Yeah.
I think everybody has. What do you think everybody's flushing the 800th or burying the 800th goldfish in the backyard? Or the replacement fish? Every parent's done that. While the kid's away, the fish got replaced.
What?
Yeah, I mean, that's just what you do, right? Who can tell one goldfish from another? You don't want
Dad,
your
promise.
5-year-old running around the house losing their mind because the goldfish is floating in the top of the bowl. You see
you do
that,
that?
man? You rip out and get a new goldfish.
Did you really do that?
I think I tried to do that with one. But you
Blue?
guys always wanted those fancy colored ones.
Yeah, the pretty ones.
Yeah, they were harder to replace.
Yeah, I think it was red because you texted us, Red's dead, and I pieced together somehow that you messaged us like 4 hours after Red had died.
Oh, hey, now we're into a whole other conversation. I texted you like, yeah, I got you on the phone. You were in the bar, and I said, hey, man, Red's dead.
No, I was at Mom's, and you said, we had been expecting it for a few days before because she had been acting weird.
Wow.
And you had texted and you said, Red's dead, baby, Red's dead.
I know, but...
But then I had somehow pieced together that you had texted us 4 hours post dead fish.
Okay. All right, Irish.
I'm just saying it.
And I'm just saying, like, the Red's dead thing was... That sounds a lot more cold-blooded than it was.
No, it was
That
funny.
was like fish number 65. By that point, you guys were fully up to speed on the idea that these fish are almost impossible to keep alive.
Well, we were around 6, 7. Get it?
All right.
Okay.
Has that not gone away yet?
No, not at all. If anything, it's funnier. I agreed with everything you said today, honestly. Aside from the replacing the fish, I didn't like that. Nobody should replace a pet. Tell them that they ran away or something. I don't know.
Oh, what are you talking about, man? You have a 5-year-old and they love their little goldfish and they go to school and the goldfish and while they're in school and what do you're like, oh, I'm so sorry, I got bad news for you. No, man. If you can put another little orange fish in the bowl, you're gonna look at Pasquale, it's still doing so well.
Yeah, and then they're gonna grow up to tell their friends that they had like a goldfish that lived for 10 years.
Yeah, exactly. And the parent will be rolling their eyes in the background.
And their friends will be like, wow, are you sure about that?
So I think mostly today we're in agreement then?
Yeah, for sure we are.
Yeah, I can't think of anything that hopefully we came up with hopefully we're of some use to somebody out there.
Yeah, hopefully.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, 2 pretty big topics, really.
Definitely.
Death and panic.
Yeah.
That could be a movie.
Yeah, actually, it could be.
Or some kind of thriller or something.
Or a book.
Yeah.
A sci-fi, a space sci-fi. Space travel.
Doesn't sound all that happy, though.
It could be. I mean, probably not, but who's to say?
Me?
Okay.
Me. I'm saying emphatically that a movie or a book called Death and Panic is probably not going to be a good time.
Well, we don't know that.
You know what, Atticus? We don't not know that. You're right. I don't know. I think I double negative in there.
I feel like that didn't sound right.
So what's this week's question for your family?
All right. So the question for you guys to talk amongst yourselves with is...
Wow, you garbled that up too. That sounded good.
Okay.
I think mine
I really
was worse,
chewed those words up.
Yeah, mine was worse.
What one thing could I do that would really make a difference when you're struggling with panic?
What one thing could I do?
When I'm panicking?
Mm-hmm.
Patience.
Yeah.
That's really all I ask. That would be my one request if I'm
Yeah.
like having a moment of panic.
Yeah.
Patience.
Yeah, that's
definitely.
key.
Yeah, I mean that's really all I have to say about that. Like just patience.
And what about if I was struggling with panic, you ask?
Yeah, well, if you were panicking, what could I do better? What difference could I make?
Patience is a good one.
Yeah.
But I would say listen carefully. For me personally,
Yeah.
listen carefully to what I'm saying.
All right.
Yeah, that would be the thing that would help me the most.
All right.
There you go, Irish.
There you go.
Nice. I quite enjoyed that episode.
Me too.
This is our new approach. We're going to test things
Yeah,
out.
let us know if you guys liked it.
All right, Miss Kajang, I love you very much.
I love you too.
Episode the 79th.
Yep.
Nice one.
I agree. Definitely a nice one.
And
Next time.
Yeah.
All right.